And welcome back to part 8 at the trailer to the send off to Train Sim Route 5 into Train Sim Route 6 as we continue the farewell tour of all the routes that I have got that I've released during TSW 6 is it 50. We're now on the Ludwigsbahn between Mannheim and the Kaiserslautern, and we're in the ICE 3. On you and you on. Thank you. I haven't apparently driven this before. That's a lie and a half. Oh yeah, I had that bad crash. Right. Are we set up in here? No, we're not. 5-5. UI. UD. UD, thank you. Hopefully that's turned flipping lights on, but oh well. If it hasn't done, oh well. Passengers can sit in the dark. Because that's not my fault. But the train doesn't want to put their flipping lights on. Oh wait, they are on. 423 being very rude and interrupting me. Right, our signal is now cleared, which is good. Right, they're on doomed while we're parked up in the station. That's fine by me. Of course, this can technically go into the that's as well, but they're not active on this yet. And plus, if you're actually driving it like that, you'd have to drive it like that if you're driving others. Oh well. Stingon Funk Angalanga. Mind me, I can speak German. And not. Anyway. At the same time. Anyway. Off we trot. Non-stop. To Kaiserslautern. As we take the fast option, but hey ho. So once again, dynamic override is on. Every layer is on. And that includes, obviously, if anything like liveries show up, they can also show up at random. I don't know this route to drive it, Hudless. So the HUD, shut up, will be staying on. And this is literally just a copy of the Konark and IC3 in it. Because it's literally got PZB and CFA not uncoupled together. Yes, we will have a little bit of tag lag around here because this is a big area. Once we're out of the Mannheim area, we should get a little bit clearer. But once again, this will show off the optimization that has actually happened in TSW5. And once again, I'm recording this on the same exact day that I've done West Coast Main Line over Shack. Which I actually, yeah, I did put it into the thing. So, on that matter of ado, that will want us to acknowledge it, even though technically we're doing 60 anyway. I will admit it will be nice to get up Trump. It'll be nice when we get out of this area. So obviously I waited for ages to pick this route up when it was on a sale, because there was absolutely nothing new with this route, which obviously had a lot of people unhappy. Especially when it was obviously put at full price. Well, I wouldn't say it's technically safe to release. Technically, because we're told to do 60, so I'm doing 60. Anyway, if I remember correctly, we don't have any LZB sections, but where? If I remember correctly, anyway, we might do, we might not, I can't remember. We are off, aren't we? Yeah. I should have guessed that because the power's doing what it's doing anyway. So obviously this was, I can't remember, quite an early release as well, so it's probably one of the reasons why it didn't have anything new. So obviously I'm not a Dovetail ambassador. I don't work for Dovetail, so I have to get all the routes by my own self and pay for them my own self. So if that hasn't already made people want to subscribe, I don't know what will. So like I said, don't forget to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button. It will help the channel out greatly. And push this video to more players of the game of TSW. That 363 looks a bit nervous with a unit in front of it which it knows it can't couple up to. So I wonder if we will get any freight trains running through or not. On the route, on the run at all, so that will be an interesting thing to see. Sifa, shut up. I think we'll get 160 before we hit 130. Oh yeah. In theory, yes, it's not raining, we should be able to do that, which we can. So, I hope, well, I'll get into it now, I hope the announcements for TSW6 are to people's tastings. Cough, 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 hopefully a southern ring. So obviously I'm doing this 4 days before the direct, but this will release probably a couple days after the direct. Zifa, shut up. So yeah. Like I said, since we're out of the Mannheim area, the FPS is now more or less cleared up, with a little bit of lag here and there. Which could obviously conclude there is a livery somewhere, but oh well. Because of the Vectolon, or yeah, I think it's the Vectron and the BR182, yeah, 182 could potentially have liveries on them. quite potentially. I will admit, I think I've only driven this route very small numbers of times. I've not actually done, apart from the one video on this route so far, so this might actually be the second video I've done on the route. This route is very, very, very underutilised by me. That is one certain job. Just to point out, if you're in Germany, this is because I know how this is because I've been watching the actual real drive on YouTube. So if you haven't done so, I've forgotten his name, but go and check him out. He has driven actually a couple of the routes that are in TSW, just to point that one out. And he will actually, I can't remember, he's actually put it in obviously the quote bits on, because obviously you wouldn't understand it if he was speaking. But you would only leave it in full power if you're running late or very much going, oh, we're going to be late situation. Wasted direct on, as it were. If you're running more or less on time, you'd allow it to coast here and then. Coast, and then every so often put the power on situation. But obviously with TSW, we don't know if we're running on time or late until you're actually at the station. As we haven't got anything like an in-booler or something like that to at least tell us a bit more info about that side of things. So that might be a feature that was added in TSW6. If it is, I'm a genius. Anyway. But it probably hasn't been. And this is the normal timetable that comes with Mannheim to Kaiserslautern. There is an expert BR101 timetable as well, which is the base expert 101, not the 101 gameplay pack, which is required if you want it on Kessel to Wolfsburg, technically, unless you just want the loco itself. If you want the cab car in all scenarios, then you need that. Shut up there. Apparently I've never used a horn before on the 406. No, mate. Well, that sound barrier is absolutely pointless. Well, the light is over the seat, I actually can't tell if it lights up or not. Of course this has suspension on it though. completely forgot about that. I'll be in on this one as well. As we are going up a hill, I will just leave it in power just so it keeps it going up the hill. I've completely forgot this route had neutral sections on it. Open that up. Neutral section time. Well, apparently it's not actually going to tell me when we're out of the neutral section. Anyway, up we go. There is 130 on the way in. It's up, so better be cautious about that. I will admit, on any of these so far, I haven't done freight, and the likelihood that freight will probably won't end up until the E94 is probably a surprising. Because between here and now, until that route, Mittenwald is probably the only route that might have a freight run on it. I will say, never use RFB to break the train. Germans will have a moan at you. And if you you can say you driver knowledge, route knowledge, you'd know there's a 90 coming up, so you'd lay out the coast. All the PZB magnets in history, right down to 85 or 80. If you need a lot, you need to get used to the P's and B, this might actually be one route that might be decent for you. On the Expert 101, shut up, you have got the 411 on here, which will probably have GMSR working. That's on this timetable as well, actually. So you might get around here a lot more quicker. And past the mint liveried up there. Oh, wrong one. Too far. Right, we're not flashing, we can get back up to 90. But I will say one thing, this route has got a fairly, very decent timetable. Which is actually unexpected, but there, for perhaps some routes. But German routes usually do have the best timetables, to be honest, in game. I'm just going to keep light power on just to palp it. To be fairness, it's probably only putting about that much on anyway. Because I think now we've got a very much a bendy windy section. Shut up. So I will obviously now since I've started how I do things is the wheels of wheel, and it has all the routes on it with all the timetables on it. Obviously, apart from obviously on the American side of things, it will have Peninsula Corridor and it will just be Peninsula Corridor. All reduced timetables do not count into that as well, as most reduced timetables are designed for last gen console usage, not current gen console, which can run the full fat timetables on most routes. Apparently not on Frankfurt S-Bahn though. This route also has tunnels. Say this is one route I probably would want to try and learn HUDless is an understatement. So I need to drive it a lot more to do that. And a little tip, if you ever wanted to start driving the route HUDless, I'm going to say this. Perhaps not everyone will probably say this, but it's actually easier to learn the fast versions first services first. And that's actually how I did Copenhagen, to be fair. So you do just the first fast trains first, then move it down the list to the and freight. Actually, fast and freight services are usually the easiest to learn. Freight, because you've also got to think of braking distance in a lot more because you've a heavier load behind you. Fast services is you've got to stay switched on with signals pretty much. But at the same time, you can somewhat learn the speed limits. And in some respects get used to it. And then do stuff like the regional Bahn or the regional express services, and then eventually S-Bahn after that. But S-Bahn's a bit more of a pain because obviously the HUD be doing be off, on situation, which will get annoying after a while. That's why I haven't really learnt the S-Bahn on Copenhagen, because it will just be annoying. That's kind of how I've actually learnt in some respects on it how to drive the Bakerloo 100% HUDless now, with me doing the announcements of what the next stop is pretty much, and going through the announcement in my head of what is at, say, the station. So Regent's Park, this is Regent's Park, exit here for buses to ZSL or London Zoo situation. I wonder where that goes. Anyway, is that marked? Kind of. Anyway. So I'm just going to keep it in power again, just because we're going up a hill. In theory, I might say that night he won't have a PZB magnet, a live PZB magnet on it. As we haven't got any trees now. Fly by properly. There you go, no magnet on that one. But if you're learning PZB, what I will state is it's probably better off to, even if they haven't got PZB magnet, still press acknowledge on them, as it were. You won't get a penalty for over doing it. Another tunnel inbound. To say, I'm going to say the easiest routes in TSW to probably learn will be Kesselwursburg, especially if you've got the safety systems on, PZBC for LZB on, because obviously in some respects on it the train can drive itself. The train tells you the speed limit's coming up. It kind of will tell you when folders coming up in either direction. But you've got to remember that not always the signal at the end of the platform is red, so you will have to brake for the signal. Island line, because it's only 45 mile an hour max, and in truth the brakes are quite decently well on both the 483 and the 484. That's me not being completely biased, by the way. Other one is obviously going to be LGV Mediterranean as well, as that's once again that's only got 3 stations on it technically. One's a dead end station, so if you forget to stop, you're hitting the buffers. And obviously once again you've got an in-game computer which tells you what to do for speed limits, but you still have to drive. So yeah, and then like I said, in some respects on it you can almost count part of Southeastern High Speed in only the HS1 section technically, because once again that's got TBM once again telling you what to do for speed and stuff. Any route that has LZB fitted as well, for that matter, for say 50 or so, just around, not 50 because there's not really going to be, so stuff like that could do it as well in some respects almost. So Konarken being one of them. I wouldn't count Frankfurt by folder for that too much, because it is on off situation, and it does have a lot of sections of not having anything to do with that. And that is a very close 90. This route is probably not going to be one of the easiest, because there is a lot of speed changes, as you can tell. And German routes are probably going to be a lot more harder to learn because of PZB and CFA side of things. So I will say, if you master these huddlers, I will say give yourself a round of applause for that. Because they're not going to be easy to do, because you've got to keep your 100%, you've got to keep your eye on the ball. Because if you don't, PZB will bite. 80. That's actually quite a while away, so actually you can almost let the train coast down to that. It had a PZB magnet on it as well. I have got the helper up because I can't be bothered to remove it, and plus it does help, because let me just be fairness, I'm not always keeping my eye on the flipping telly. Anyway, that's a nice looking tunnel. This is one heck of a flipping bendy route. Some which I still haven't done yet is the thumbnail, thinking of it. So we better get on with that. It's a bug and a half. So I will need to take something for one of those soon as well. Because on this one, yes, we can go the full way because it's only 40 minutes, pretty much. There is one, so that is 46 minutes long, which I might as well leave. Let's do it now for a video because that looks like it might actually be a decent run. AKA, you're behind something. I'm literally in a visible wall. Get that on situated perfectly. That was actually quite decent as well. Can I have a clear front of the train, please? That looks like it was a big fat no. Oh well, this one might have to just stay as that. To be fair, it's not a bad script writer either. So I will take that one and get going again. Oh no, we've got the flipping bug. Thank you. Yes, I could have done it on the keyboard. Bit of abandoned bit of track there. Obviously, one thing with German routes, they are routes in general, and Austrian for that matter, they're all fixed so they can run a bi-directional running on them all, which not many countries have available. And also Germany has a lot more modern system than what we have back in the UK. Yeah, blame that being on us bombing the heck out of it, obviously during World War II. And obviously the N1s doing it as well to themselves to stop the advance of the Allied forces. I'm saying the N1 because I don't want to get anything on with the channel. There's a level crossing coming up apparently. But there isn't, because that's an interesting one. Unless that's meant for rock falls or something, I don't know. Oh, no, there it is. RFB hasn't done what it's meant to do. Got a freight train coming the other way. Yep. 185 going the other way. So while we're here, what's up next? Well, we've got Mittenwald, then Cardiff, the F59, Thomas and Diesel, Sponnet de Gonten, the BR194 or the E94, the Class 86, the 170. Look back, or guard mode. Then it'd be one of those two again, and then to finalise it off with, put it into the corridor. And that will be 100% it at the point of time as I'm doing this. recording this on the Ludwigsbahn anyway, it will 100% be the send-off to pull into the corridor. As that is a gone route after that. With a Caltrain licence in, obviously being not anymore in TSW. But I guarantee there's probably someone out there that has probably made a Caltrain licence anyway, and a livery designer. Or should I say, there probably will be someone that has done that by that point, when TSW 6 happens. On either the MP36 or the other diesel, which is obviously the baby bullet. Or we can get some speed up for once, for rarity. And I can see the PZB map. Let's see before once. As we're going downhill. Dynamic weather is on, but you wouldn't think of it. Apart from we started with clear and we have got some clouds approaching, so apparently it always turns up to rain. So far I think I've proved that it doesn't. And with obviously dynamic weather on, we're getting smooth. Fair enough, it's not raining or snowing. But I will say dynamic weather brings a route to life. As well, a bit more. And changes how we drive as well. Oh yeah. So as we got some speed now. I'll get a flyby in as well. I can just about see that being lit up. And Kazakhstan Hudmanov is now on the HUD, on the track monitor, which I do hope has some updates as well. Anyway, that would have been announced. So roughly I'm going to say I might have, or perhaps 2 more before I will go, oh, I now know what's coming, as it were. Into TSW 6. I'm braking very hard. Just to point out, you can come into platforms about 60 kilometers an hour. But just myself, there is a red ahead. So the red is priority for us to stop. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. So we're stopping at more or less the end of the platform pretty much, but never saw that before. RFB will hold us perfectly. So, welcome to Carol Stanton. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day as we get kicked out of the seat. So, thank you very much for watching, and have. Apparently, I've never drove the 406 before. What a lie and a half, because it's on Conarken. But anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching, and have an awesome day. Don't hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. This is the first one in a couple that we have got to do the full end of the route. It definitely won't happen in the next one, considering that's the Miltonburg. So, thank you very much for watching, and have an awesome day. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to and the notification bell to get notified when the next part of the send-off comes to you. Thank you very much once again. Goodbye.